You don't look so good. You all right?
The floor. It keeps moving. How can you stand it? How can you even stand?
I'm not the best person to ask about discomfort. I can't feel pain, remember?
I still can't believe what happened in Niez. Even now. As a lord, my expectations for Almeidrea were already pretty low. But the way she treated human lives like they're mere playthings.
Yeah. And it wasn't as if the situation in Niez was improving much to begin with.
You mean Deadheim?
The whole reason I started fighting back was because of my anger at the atrocities of Renan rule. Back then, all I had to worry about was fighting the Renans for the sake of the Danans. But then I met Shion and the people of Menancia, and things became a lot more complicated. It's even messier now that we have to worry about Danans like Deadheim.
It used to be that the Danans were the ones in the right, and the Renans were the ones in the wrong. Though, maybe that was just a biased perspective from being on the side of the oppressed.
Exactly. I'll never tolerate the Renans ruling over us, but nothing ever ends up being as black and white as you'd expect it to be either. That's clear to me now.
That said, even putting aside bad apples like Deadheim for a moment, you may be able to free the Danan people, but that won't undo 300 years of oppression. It'll be hard for them to not give in to their resentment. I think maybe that's why I clung to our dream so hard back in Menancia.
Even if his motivations weren't pure, Dohalim has a good heart. He didn't sink to the depths Almeidrea did.
You don't understand. I'm saying that it goes deeper than that. This hierarchy we live in, it's not solely something the Renans invented. I remember a story Rinwell once told me. She said before the Renans invaded, we Danans had our own class system. We are the ones who divided ourselves. I saw it in Deadheim's eyes. He wanted to rule over others.
To hear Bayfon tell it, Deadheim wasn't always that way.
But as time went on, and he and the Darkwings fought the Renans, he eventually changed. I guess what I'm getting at is, if we defeat the Renans but just go back to the way things were before, was there even any point in fighting?
But that world isn't the one you want to create, right?
Maybe not. But to tell you the truth, these days I'm not so sure that dream is even possible.
You have your promise to Megal, though. Your home and the people of Menancia are depending on you.
I know. My brother. He truly believed in his dream of coexistence. And I suppose, even now, many people still do. And then, there's you.
Who, me?
You and Shion.
I'm not sure I follow.
Okay, then let me spell it out for you. How many other Renans and Danans do you know that get on as spectacularly as the two of you?
I don't know that I'd say spectacularly.
Well, I suppose it's really all a matter of how you look at it, isn't it?
I really don't see what you're getting.
I think I'm getting seasick again. Sorry. Can you just give me a wide berth for a few minutes?
Hold that pose long enough and someone might just come along and paint you.
Any artist who'd see fit to paint me needs their eyes tested.
What can you tell me about Almeidrea?
Not as much as you'd probably wish. I only ended up crossing paths with her a handful of times, after I was chosen to be a lord on Lenegis.
Ah, right. I almost forgot about Lenegis. How much do you think they know about what's been going on down here?
It's safe to assume they know everything, though I know not why they choose to remain uninvolved. Perhaps they see what's been happening as just part of the ongoing crown contest.
Even what Almeidrea did? Has it really reached the point where her actions are seen as normal?
Not to my knowledge, no. At its core, the crown contest is a competition to see who can amass the most astral energy. And to amass such energy, slaves are needed to collect it from. It's therefore against the Lord's interest to kill them.
So then why would Almeidrea do something like that?
we must remember that time is running out in the crown contest. Perhaps her hand was forced, so to speak. It is a way to accrue astral energy faster and in larger quantities than through slave labor. Doing so kills off that labor force, obviously, but it is a means to an end nonetheless. No one could have foreseen that something like the Hollowing would arise back when the contest was first conceived.
Is becoming the Sovereign of Rena really that important to the Lords?
Of course. It's the greatest prize one can attain in their eyes. In that respect, at least, I'm really not that surprised that Almadria resorted to what she did, as utterly despicable as it is.
It's reassuring to hear you feel the same way I do.
I worry that the only reason I never did anything similar in Menancia was due to my lack of ambition.
If you didn't want to be reminded of your past, you could have just plugged your ears.
You think too highly of me. I'm afraid I must respectfully disagree. I'm not nearly as virtuous of a person as you might wish to believe.
If that's so, would you have been so shaken up when Kisara lost her brother? Why else would you turn your back on your own kind and choose to fight for Miguel's dream? Aren't we just Danans?
A curious choice of words. Did what you see in Mahag Sar hit you that hard?
What Deadheim did to that city, he didn't liberate anyone. Anyone who refused to follow him was an enemy in his eyes. 300 years of Renan rule taught him nothing.
What I have come to understand is that the conflict extends beyond Danan versus Renan. There is an internal quarrel as well. I mean to bring about a true, lasting coexistence in Menancia. But there are more walls we must topple first.
And you don't think you can pull it off?
Well, you seem to think you can, at least.
Does that make us enemies?
Insofar as an exchange of swordplay, no, it doesn't.
Not good enough for you?
Are you really... Forgive me. I will continue to fight by your side a while longer. That much I have decided.
I took a look around inside the ship just in case, but I didn't find anything that looked like it might be suspicious.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
You know, it wasn't until I left Calaglia that I finally realized just how big the world is.
When we tore down the wall in Calaglia, and I could finally see the horizon in the far-off distance, I had the exact same thought.
Yeah, somehow the sea is different though. I'm not sure just how to put it. It's almost as if it just goes on forever. I bet my old man would have been blown away by this view.
Yeah.
Ever since he died, I've been thinking about what it was that he was really trying to say to me at the end. I keep going over his words again and again. And heck, maybe I'm just overthinking it all. But still, sometimes I wonder if it could have turned out differently. If there was something I could have done. But no matter how much I play it back, I'm still no closer to finding any answers. And then there's everything with Rinwell. I stopped her from killing Almadria, but was that really the right thing to do? Or did I just end up making things harder for her? I feel like such a screw-up.
You're not the only one. I keep asking myself what Zephyr would have done had he been here. Like I think, how would Zephyr have handled Rinwell?
Yeah, I think he definitely would have stopped her. No doubt about it.
And that's exactly what you did, Law. I think he'd be really proud of you.
Alphen.
Zephyr's not the worst yardstick to measure ourselves against. Let's both do our best to make him proud.
Sounds like a deal. Thanks, Alphen.
Lean much further, you'll go overboard. Keeping an eye out for Almadria's ship?
I'm looking at the ocean.
The ocean?
Yeah. The waves. They help me think. This world is filled with natural wonders. The icy air and white peaks of Cyslodia, the lush green glades of Menancia, the harsh wastes of Calaglia. But Menancia has its Lake of Death, and Nia's its ruins. And they wouldn't be there if it weren't for that contest.
Say we actually manage to put a stop to the crown contest for good. What do you think will happen between the Danans and the Renans then?
You first.
Well, I want to believe that the coexistence we saw in Menancia can happen elsewhere, too. It's insane for all of us to keep fighting. If Menancia can do it, so can everyone else.
Yeah, I think that would be good too. A world where everyone can get along. At least, that's what I've come to believe.
You sure have changed.
I can't lie to you. Since I was young, I've looked down on the Danans too. But I've seen a lot. And I see things differently now. I've seen so many ugly and terrible things in this world. And yet, they didn't come from just the Danans. And the good things too. They didn't come from just the Renans. Kindness and cruelty exist on both sides. A person's race doesn't factor into it. So, I guess you're right after all, Alphen. I have changed. You know, I've never actually touched another person like this.
Shion.
Ever since I was on Lenegis, I've always been alone. Even after I came to Dana. Always.
And now?
Do you still not remember your past?
No. Sometimes it feels like I can almost remember. But then this mask stops me.
The mask keeps you from remembering why you have the mask in the first place. It's a little ironic, isn't it?
A little. Well, it won't be long now before you're rid of those thorns, you know? Only 2 lords remain. And once you have their master course, you'll be able to create the Renis Alma, right? Then you can... Shion?
Sorry, it's nothing. Promise. You're right, though. It'll all be over soon. I never could have made it this far on my own. I have everyone to thank for that. Including... especially you, Alphen.
Don't worry about it. We're friends, after all.
Yeah, we are.
Wonder how much longer it's going to be before we catch up to Almadria. I'll ask Mahavar.
Look who's up! Good timing. We're closing in on her stern as we speak.
That's the ship? She's huge. Law, go gather the others, will you? Think you'll be able to flank them without getting spotted?
Yeah, with the fog as our ally, I think I might just pull it off. Long as we ain't too noisy, we should be okay.
What'll you do if they catch on to us?
Not much I can do. Ship that size, they'll probably blow us to bits before we ready cannons.
Persistent little things. Evidently, I shouldn't have spared the wretched vermin. Hungry already, my dear? Worry not, for you shall have plenty to feast upon shortly.
Perfect. You managed to get us right up beside them.
I'll stay with the ship so we can leave as soon as you're done.
Good. Then let's find Almadria.
Now that's what I call a ship!
Yeah. The biggest one in all of Mahagsar. So big that it took years to construct.
For all we know, Kelzelik may well have been smuggling materials to help build it. In which case it would be yet another mistake on my part.
We don't know that she was only getting materials from Menancia.
You think it's possible that they might have come from elsewhere too? Yeah, I guess I could see it.
But what do you think Almadria plans to do from here on out, now that she's abandoned her realm and sailed out to sea?
She'll be filling her coffers with gold, most likely. Then she'll sit back and enjoy the show as the other lords duke it out. Or something to that effect, at least.
I wouldn't put it past her.
She's strong, yet shrewd, and will stoop to any low. A dangerous one indeed.
She's not the first, and she won't be the last. This is a lord we're talking about, remember?
Sounds like you've made up your mind already.
There was never anything to decide. No one who can smile like that while doing what she did deserves to roam free.
Yeah, you're right.
This might not be the best time, but if you have a minute. That mask of yours, it was shattered by a blow from Balsef when you fought back in Calaglia, correct?
Yeah, thanks for the reminder. I thought I was a goner.
Balsef's brute strength was in a league all its own, yet half the mask remains. It's remarkably durable. Too durable to be Danon in origin.
Shion said the same thing. As if the fact I was wearing it meant there had to be more to me than met the eye.
You recalled your name when the mask broke, I hear.
Yeah, that's right. Although to tell you the truth, I'm a little scared what might happen when I lose the remaining half. Then again, the idea of not doing something because I'm afraid scares me even more. That's why I go on fighting.
Only he who first faces the night catches a glimpse of the dawn.
Come again?
It's nothing. Forget I said anything.
forgive you!
Bring him down!
Take this! Watch for their ranged attack.
Engaging!
Now or never.
Fire support!
Shockwave flash!
Lightning condensed!
Wind! Soaring light spear!
Not in your dreams! Freeze Lancer!
Take this! Wind!
Support!
Mission! Soaring light spear!
Now!
On guard!
Mirage!
Water! Hear my call! Glacial Red!
Everybody okay?
We're all right, Alphen.
Little help!
I see one, eh? I can carve through armor! My shield! I'm not done!
Water! Now hear my
Take down their defenses! Lord! Soaring light spear!
Gusty nail!
Fire support! Shockwave flash!
Switch topic!
Go for it! Mission! I'm not done!
I'm all stopped up! Lightning!
Severing wind!
This should come in handy when crafting weapons.
Got it!
An opponent like this should be easy.
Severing wind! Stardust! Soaring light spear!
Shattering of pieces!
These that rings around her!
Severing wind! Shockwave flash!
Lightning
Here
condensed!
I come!
Thunderblade!
Eternal devastation!
Make it rain!
I'm not done!
Arc Seal!
You're mine!
Lightning all raging cascade now!
Damn
Dance
it.
in the wind!
It's too fast!
Stand back.
Glacial
I'll
Spear.
trip it up.
Here's evil! Falling storm! Freeze! Our work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Shion.
That went well.
Are you okay? You're not too tired, are you?
Nope, I'm fine. Let's keep moving.
I'll do my best!
I'm not done! Wind!
Lightning strike!
Take this!
I'm the true gunslinger around here.
Do it! Light spear!
Glacial fire support!
Shockwave flash!
Lightning strike!
I'm not done!
By the power of
You're
water!
finished! Eternal devastation!
That's my cue.
Shut him down. Its armor's too strong.
Then I'll split it open!
Be my guest.
Lightning condensed! Thunderblade! Burning
Severing wind!
Spear! Pierce evil!
Wind! Soaring light spear!
Far enough!
Thunderblade!
Take this!
Take
Severing wind!
Now!
Goodwill! Demons descend! Flashing fang!
I won't rest until I'm the best I can be.
Still striving to be on par with the Lord?
You simply can't be too strong when battle is a part of your everyday. Little help!
Now you see what I can do!
My shield!
Piercing wind!
I can read your moves like a book.
Shield is made!
Flaming meteor! By the power of water! Flaming meteor! Piercing
Do it! Astral energy!
Say no more!
Everyone still in one piece?
Yep. I barely worked up a sweat. Go no further!
It's all mine!
Arc field!
Take it!
No further!
They really don't give up, do they?
Now you'll learn!
Glacial spear! Pierce evil!
Severing wind!
Do it! This one's mine! Hurricane flight!
Glacial spear! Pierce evil!
Lunar
I'll
arc!
smash you!
Now!
You're
Freeze
finished!
Lancer!
Onward and upward.
Out of my way!
Take
Hurricane
I'm only getting started! Steel force!
Eternal devastation! I won't show you any mercy! Severing wind!
Tempest!
No escape! Severing wind!
Freeze Lancer!
Mirage! Severing wind! We're not finished!
Glacial spear! Pierce evil! Freeze Lancer! I'll never miss!
No escape!
Make it rain!
Kisara! Frozen!
Hammer!
Seems about right to me.
No choice!
Confiscate! I'll heal you!
I'm going in! Got you now!
Healing circle!
Wind!
Falling star!
Damn it! Take this! Wind!
Raging sword!
Soaring lightning here!
Make it rain!
Take this!
Dance in the wind!
Take this!
In here!
Far enough!
Shockwave flash!
I'm only getting flame!
Eat dirt!
Thunderblade! Too much to
Alma
handle?
won't save you!
By the power of water!
In a bind?
Going in!
Aqueous surge!
Time to shine!
Severing wind!
Dance in the wind!
Lightning strike!
In here! I'll heal you all! For the
Here I
stockpile! Healing circle!
Severing wind! Stardust!
More with the
Tiger blade!
I owe you one!
This one's mine!
Lunar arc!
I'm not done!
Go get
Severing wind!
Dance in the wind!
You're
In
mine!
here!
I'm not done!
More for the stockpile!
Here!
Flaming meteor!
Lightning thrust! I'll give you
Tiger blade!
Lightning strike!
Where are you going?
You're finished!
Leave the charges
Go
to
time
me!
Now you
flat!
see what I can do!
Make it rain!
Shockwave flash!
Lightning strike!
The enemy wields arcs too.
Lifting theater! Frozen!
Hammer!
Barely a blip on our radar.
Never seen anything like it.
It's an authentication key. They're quite common.
Maybe where you're from, but this is new to me.
It might go in an elevator somewhere. We should test it out.
Severing wind!
Lunar blast!
Glacial fire!
Shining
Take it!
supernova! Purge malevolence!
Wind!
Arctic waterfall!
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Yeah, and the pummeling to me! May 1,000 gales tear you to
Take
shreds!
I'm not
Gusty
done!
nail!
Can't get out of this!
Too much to handle? Searing
You're on!
flame! Reload! I'm on a roll!
Glacial spear!
Wind after energy!
Anything in armor is all mine!
Freeze lancer! Light axe dance in the wind!
Through armor!
Hurricane strike!
Seal!
It's on! Shockwave flash!
Graviton field! Lightning orb!
Glacial
More
fire!
Severing wind!
Purge
Take it!
malevolence! Sleep not in your dreams!
Take this! Eternal devastation!
Here's the
Severing...
Do you require a
energy!
hand?
Freeze
You're
lancer!
on! Ignite!
Here comes!
On guard!
Take lightning conduct! First air!
Everyone still in one piece?
Yep. I barely worked up. Out of our way!
The rebels!
Ready to go! Freeze
Deny!
Here I come! What was this? Got you now!
I never miss!
Pesky airborne scoundrels!
Sounds like a job for yours truly!
Win!
An astral art?
That's my cue!
Not done!
Freeze
It's
lancer!
almost shut him down! Shockwave flash!
Who wants to die next? Hurricane dance in the wind! Here! Air strike!
On your next spear!
Into
Take
the
this!
shadows! Going in!
You're finished!
Mega ray! Ready to
It's
dance!
on! Start up!
Back into the
Take
front!
this!
Mega
No
ray!
escape! Not today!
Here!
Take this! Severing wind! Searing gale! You're finished!
I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare Demolisher!
Here's a healing arc!
On guard!
Your dreams!
Nothing gets by
Purge
me!
malevolence!
Here I go!
Arctic
Not
waterfall!
far enough!
Freeze laser! Dance in the wind!
Searing gale! Take this!
Photon flash! Healing
Eternal
circle!
I owe
devastation!
you one for that.
Shockwave flash!
Mega ray!
Appreciate the help.
Tiger blade!
Hurricane
Where are you going?
Now you see what I can do!
Lightning strike!
Shockwave flash! Eternal devastation! Wind!
Please
Define me!
Almost sucked up! Mega ray! May 1,000 gales tear you to shreds!
Shockwave flash!
In a bind?
Here I come! You picked the wrong fight! You won't make a fool of me!
Astral energy!
Say no more! These don't seem like your run-of-the-mill Zeugles the Renans usually keep around.
Indeed. I believe it's safe to assume these were used in her experiments.
They certainly look as twisted as her.
Even here. This is...
I remember seeing instruments just like this back in Estaluva Forest.
It looks and smells like some kind of medicine.
Whatever this place was used for, I doubt it was anything of repute.
Lost!
Severing
May 1,000
wind!
gales tear you to shreds!
Shockwave flash!
Flood! Here! Gusty nail!
Hurricane
No
strike!
escape! Here!
Lightning strike!
It's a duel of the
Severing
arts!
wind!
Hurricane strike!
Mega ray! Gusty nail!
We've got flyers!
I've got this! Let a marksman handle
The
it!
enemy wields arms.
Now! Demons descend!
Flashing fang!
Radiant here! Not on my watch!
Going in!
It's on!
Hurricane
Radiant here!
Crush! Severing
Now!
wind!
Here
Time
I
to
come!
go!
Astral energy!
Say no more!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood. An opponent like this should be easy. You've got spirit! Mirage!
Going in!
Shockwave flash!
Far enough! So much for talking it out.
Now you'll learn!
You picked the wrong fight!
Do it!
We did it! Now! Here I come!
Water!
Severing wind!
Time to start my watch.
Time to let it rip!
Here's evil. Lightning
Chakra
strike.
strike! Severing wind!
Freeze lancer.
Light up the
Mirage!
Raging
Wind!
roar.
Let me out.
Mirage! I'm not feeling so great.
Raging
Now you see what I can do!
I owe you one.
I'll fix you up.
Ha-cha!
Recover.
Severing wind!
One for that.
Stardust!
Raging storm.
Will this help?
Celestial hammer. Healing circle.
Sloppy!
You'll pay for that!
Back into the fray.
Soaring light spear!
Freeze lancer.
Ignite!
Dance in the wind. Resuscitation field.
Wind!
I'll be safe.
Stardust!
Here.
No further! Here I come!
Mega ray.
Soaring light spear!
Glacial fire!
Annihilation. Astral
Take
energy.
this!
Shining super.
Take it!
Lightning attack.
Shattering the pieces!
Thunderblade.
Attack time!
Tiger
Here
blade!
goes fury. Not on my watch. Burning strike.
Here I come!
Hear my call.
I'm not
Can't
hit.
be ready to go. Swallow splash.
Water!
This
Denied!
one keeps charging us!
Lightning
That's what my
orb.
shield's for. Get behind me!
Got it! I'll leave it to you!
Annihilation. Freeze lancer.
On guard!
Dance in the wind.
I'm not
Sleep
done!
now.
Stardust!
Over the stockpile.
On guard!
I can't heal you
Here I
forever.
come! I owe you one!
Raging storm.
Megasonic thrust!
From
Take
Lunar
this!
Ray.
Lunar Rondo!
Annihilation. Puddle.
Follow me! In an instant! Impact Claw!
How much longer will our healing arts last?
Looks like some solid equipment. sense one of your friends, Hoodle?
What is that huge flower-looking thing up there? Is that the ship's engine?
Indubitably. As one might expect, large ships require large engines in order to sail.
And if we destroyed it?
We might well sink the ship. Who knows if we would be able to escape before that happens.
Almadria sure has been busy since the contest began.
This isn't Almadria's doing.
You mean she didn't build this?
The body, yes. However, my guess is that the engine comes from a starship.
A starship? As in one of those vessels used to go to and from Lenegus?
Correct. The technology employed on Lenegus and in starships is more advanced than anything in our daily lives. Almadria may be resourceful, but she could never produce an engine like this on her own.
You mean to tell me we've got even bigger enemies waiting for us up in the sky? My head hurts just thinking about it.
Don't worry about that for now. Just focus on taking care of Almadria.
Do you sense one of your friends, Hoodle?
Get lost!
Engaging!
Shark!
I can carve through
It's over!
You'll pay for what you did!
Now you'll learn!
Field!
By me!
I'll be safe! Arc Field!
Demon Fang!
This one's
Sonic
mine!
Barely a blip on our...
Do my best!
Demon Fang! My lord!
I'm only getting started! Not on my
Damn
watch!
it!
Here
Rising
goes
Water!
Malevolent!
Start up!
You think that shield will save you?
I see one, eh?
Here goes!
Next! Demon Fang! Sonic Be my guest! We're not finished!
I can
carve through water! My shield! Strike!
Water!
Here, let's do it! Lunar Arc!
Glacial Spear!
My turn!
Make it rain!
No escape!
Blaze Lancer!
Soaring Light Sphere!
On guard!
Rising Falcon!
Looks like we won.
I'll do my best!
Got you now!
Here Raging Cascade!
This one's mine!
Take this!
I'll have to take my revenge on you!
The rebels! Stop them! I'm not done!
Astral Arts?
That's my shield!
Shut him down!
Lightning Thrust!
On your knees!
Damn it! Too fast!
Stand back. I'll clean it up.
Magic is
Not today!
Hurricane
Carve through armor!
Freeze laser!
I'm not done!
Going in!
More for the stockpile!
Sonic thrust!
Guard!
Lunar eruption! This one's mine!
Take this!
Lunar arc!
Lightning thrust! Mirage!
You made me angry!
Pierce
That was
through!
a bad idea!
Die!
You're mine!
Take this!
Take this!
Tiger
I'm
Blade!
not done, will ya?
Going in!
Sonic thrust! Pierce through! Demon Fang! Dazzle!
Hey, that...
Rising Falcon!
This one's mine!
Missile! Take this! Burn it out! You won't make a fool of me!
Make it rain!
Lost!
Demons descend! Flashing Fang!
Lightning!
We're not
Armor
finished!
won't save you! Far enough!
Glaze, do it!
This one's mine!
Astral energy!
Say no more.
I've used a bit too much healing.
Hi, Hoodle!
This
Take
one's
this!
mine!
Demon Fang!
Dazzle! Gemini Onward! Arctic
You're
Hit!
mine!
Lion Breeze!
Sonic
Burning
thrust!
Dance in the wind!
Lunar
Lightning thrust! You're mine!
Stockpile!
This one's all mine!
Look sharp!
Mirage! Ignite!
Make it rain!
Prepare to be sealed!
Field! I never miss!
Be still!
Radiant, look here!
Anything in armor is all mine! I can carve through armor!
Make it rain!
Pierce through! Sonic thrust!
Astral
Legion
energy!
snaring
More
to
where
me.
that came
Yeah!
from.
And the pummeling to me!
I'm pretty worn out.
Want to rest up for a bit?
Little help!
Take this!
Lunar
I'm not done!
eruption!
This one's mine!
Lightning thrust! Rising
Annihilation!
Falcon!
Tiger Blade!
Pierce through!
Howl!
Mega ray!
Can't get out of this!
Stop! Be still!
I can handle it!
Rise!
Far enough!
You're mine!
Lunar eruption!
Sonic
Do it!
thrust!
Lightning
You're
thrust!
finished! Demon Fang!
Hurricane strike! By the power of
Sonic
fire!
thrust! Not today! Finished! Take this! Demon Fang!
Here's a
Be
healing
still!
I don't have much
Sonic
left!
thrust! Demon
I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
Barely a blip on our radar.
You're saying we should check the Owl Forest?
Seriously? Is this a joke?
I'm not close! Sonic thrust! Pierce through! Flaming thrust! Mirage! Pierce through! Sonic thrust!
I'm ready! Lightning orb!
Now you see what I can do!
Lower that Magna Ray!
You're mine!
This is annihilation!
Lightning
Air
strike!
I never miss!
Rising Falcon!
Light Astro
You're
Lightning
finished!
Condensed! Searing
Can't
Flame!
get out of this!
You're mine!
Not in your dreams!
Strike!
Going
Hear
in!
my call!
Rising Falcon!
Hurricane
Now!
Sonic
Flame
thrust!
of Fury!
Pierce through!
Lightning orb!
Water!
Hear
Going
my
in!
call!
You're mine! Sonic
Flaming
missile!
meteor!
You picked the wrong fight!
Make it rain! Lunar arc!
Everybody okay?
We're all right, Alphen.
No choice! Bring him down! Take this!
Here's a lightning
I'm not done!
Lunar corruption! Lunar blast!
Demon Fang! Dazzle! Rising Falcon! Pierce
This
through!
one's mine!
Lunar corruption!
Lightning strike!
The enemy wields art.
Denied!
We'll soon see about
Rising
that!
Falcon! It's over!
Flaming
Now you see what I can do!
Strike!
Crescent moon!
Tears throbs in pain.
Magna Ray!
New
I'll
escape!
save this one!
Demon Fang!
The water
Here
is
goes!
magic is enough!
Rising Falcon! I have no limits!
Sleep now!
Sonic thrust!
Blade!
Pierce
I'll be
through!
waiting! Healing
Lightning
vessel!
thrust!
Appreciate the
Rising
help.
Falcon! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! Demon Fang!
Radiant Storm!
Barely a blip on our radar.